I'm trying to put all of my energy into building the agency, keeping clients happy, delivering the best work of my life, all whilst, being present for my girls and seeing them reach those milestones, make those first steps, which they've just done last week. Making a lot more notes recently, been doing a lot more journaling. Just got a bunch of thoughts down. January we knew was going to be pretty intense. Didn't help that I was away the first week in January for my girl's first birthday. I remember this time last year, I was in the delivery room with Amy, my wife, and seeing where the agency is at now is just a world of difference from when it was back then. And seeing these little girls grow up, all whilst running this agency, has been a true challenge, but so fulfilling. And when I was at Centre Parks, I was just sitting back thinking about the year that I've just had and where we've come from in that delivery room where they were premature and in the NICU and stuff like that. It's I am a very blessed man to be where I'm at. There's two jobs in my life, right? It's being a father, being an agency owner, amongst some other things. But those are the two sort of core things. And the reality is that both require 100% effort and attention. And obviously there's no such thing as giving 200%. I'm doing this more than, just creating a business. I'm doing this so that, my girls never have to worry about anything going forward. I'm leaving a legacy. I'm teaching them what it means to be hardworking. I hope that they can see, me downstairs at the kitchen table doing work, having meetings. I hope that is instilling something in them about sacrifice and hard work. So yeah, that is something I'm very acutely aware of.
So it is lunchtime. Matthew is in and out of meetings all day. So I'm going to make us lunch. We're waiting on a food shop, so we've got to get inventive for lunch. Got my little helpers down here. They've got a wooden spoon and a stick of celery to keep them occupied. This is the reality of trying to cook with twins. Hi girls, what's going on?
Oh, what a woman.
There you go.
Thank you. Lots of new projects starting this month. We've got Cura, a climate tech company out of Canada. That's a really exciting project. I think we've spoken about that a little bit. You'll be seeing more about that because we are going to be releasing a video that talks about that entire process and what that's looked like. But yeah, Cura is a big deal for us that we got that. We're really happy. The guys are great. The Closet app as well, sort of name pending, is a sustainable AI-driven fashion app that allows the users to become more aware of the clothes that they have in their closet, and they can make better decisions, better purchasing decisions. Maybe they don't need to buy all of these things. Maybe they can be given insights as to what they should do with their clothes if they don't wear it. Do you recycle it? Do you sell it on Vinted and things like that? So that's a really cool app. And then obviously working with JH Agency as well. We are doing a lot more agency work of late, and I think that stems from the work that we're doing with Unusual and Luke Tobin. Obviously a KPI in the space, a recommendation from him goes a long way, and our name seems to be floating around in those circles right now. So we are doing a lot more agency work. We've recently done Friday Solved, which hopefully our editor is going to overlay some of the work that we did there for them. Working with Fleet Street as well, which is a sort of a modern take on PR. So that's really good. These are some sort of existing projects as well. Net Zero Insights, another climate tech company there that we're working for. So we are still working within our niche, which is good. Obviously that's what we want to be doing more of, but yeah, I'd be lying if I said that we weren't doing more work outside of our niche. We're happy to do so. They're cool projects. So yeah, all in all, shit's busy, man. Shit's busy. So there's, I guess 5 or 6 active projects. Then we do have some legacy projects. These are sort of hangover projects from last year that frankly were managed poorly. Back then, 12 months ago, we had, let's say, immature systems and processes in place that really meant that a lot of projects could easily slip. and we never really had accountability from our side, but indeed the client as well, right? It's a two-way street, but ultimately the buck stops with us, so it's just really about us being able to close those off, but all whilst making sure that we're honouring, the contract and, the word that we made for the client. We want to make sure that we deliver for them. So we get those out the door. I think that we can just focus on these new projects that are really closely aligned with where we want to be, both in terms of industry, niche, and indeed impact. So yeah, that's essentially where we're at. It's 6 a.m. The family are fast asleep, and the only time that I'm going to have today to go to the gym is now. So I'm going to get up. I have got up. And I'm going to go and do they call it an engine room class, which is basically just conditioning. So little strength work today, but a lot of conditioning. So this is going to suck, but it's the only time I've got today. And then I'm going to go and pick up River from the train station because he's coming to Stafford today because we've got a finance meeting with James. So we'll be meeting him later this afternoon. But first of all, we're going to go and get in the engine room.
There's a lot of things that I've learned about myself since launching the agency 4 years ago. I've become acutely aware that I'm such a creature of habit, and whether they're good habits or bad habits, I fall or rise to them either way. Over the Christmas period, I really sort of started slacking a bit. I wasn't getting up early, I wasn't getting my steps in, and I always struggle to get my steps in. Obviously, being behind the desk, unless I'm, in London visiting a client, I ain't going anywhere, right? Or if I'm in the office, I ain't going anywhere. So getting my steps in has always been quite tricky. So yeah, I come to the gym 5 times a week, and typically twice a day. So I'll come first thing in the morning, I'll get my steps in, I'll get on the treadmill. Like I said, it's the only way really that I get my steps in. And then after work, I'll come here and I'll do a group strength session with the team at Ambition. Trev, my coach, great guy. So yeah, he's really helping, sort of guide me along. But man, it's a lot, balancing all of this. But it's the reality of it, and I'm here for it. It's a challenge. I'm now going to head home. I'm going to pour myself a coffee, and we're going to get to work. It's going to be a fun week.
Oh yeah. Good morning. You okay?
Yeah, boy.
You got coffee for me?
Yeah, boy.
So let's do that. Thank you, bro.
All right.
And what it avoids you doing is if you're putting away, probably less relevant for kind of you guys in your position in terms of cash holder, but if you're putting away 20% of VAT every single month just on a sales basis, then all of a sudden you might have too much cash in a cash pot and restrict spending in other areas that might be productive.
Yeah.
There's not really a consideration here, but I think having an accurate figure
Yes.
in just put away each month so then exactly what's going out. That's the money that's there. That's not our cash. It's HMRC's. We're just holding it for a period of time.
Because for example, we might get a payout from Stripe, but it might be a couple of projects combined.
Yeah.
Some have paid back, some haven't.
Yeah.
So then I don't know, okay, what actually do I need to transfer across, and doing it sort of like payment by payment.
It's a waste of time, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, I don't know what I've put in there, what I need to put in there. So yeah, having some sort of just monthly opportunity to say, yeah, guys, throw this in the VAT pot for us. You should know that that's taken care of.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. You just do that.
Yep.
Just do that. That'd be really good.
So we've just had our meeting with James, had a nice little coffee and a bit of food whilst we talk through the finance side of things. The conversations went everywhere, discussing kind of the future of the business, kind of our financial strategy, housekeeping and good habits, and things we can focus on and look into as we go into the next chapter.
All of these conversations that we're having, just really, number one, they're just so energizing, right? We get out of those meetings and we're just ready to just get heads down, just do the thing. All in all, man, we're doing everything right. We just gotta keep going. We just gotta keep tightening up the screws here and there.
Yeah,
I love it, man. I love it. And you know what?
River and I, we didn't have agency experience when we started this 4 years ago. We learned on the fly. I've worked out, and I don't think this is an exaggeration when I say about 70% of our time is spent on client and project management. That ain't going to fly. That really is a bottleneck. And that is, I guess, the number one pain point that we're experiencing right now with the agency. So I know that that's a key hire that we need to fill. We've always just shared work and responsibilities, but a key observation is definitely that we need to be splitting these roles with a little bit more defined definitions. So, for example, River, I think, is going to take ownership of the business development and I guess sort of brand creative director. I think I'm going to be taking care of this sort of project and account management, at least until we're able to have that key hire. I'll be taking care of that. And indeed, I'll be the go-to guy for the user experience and the product design side of things. I think once the project account management is alleviated from that key hire, I think I can then move more into marketing role as well. So I think those are some of the sort of key role definitions that we could be establishing. I think it helps with like ownership, because when you do share responsibilities, it is ultimately difficult to have that ownership, and things can begin to slip through the cracks. These are challenges that we're facing, and they are so different to the challenge we were facing even 6 months ago. They're drastically different now. The website, it doesn't accurately represent who we are anymore. We've expanded the niche. We're not just focusing on climate tech anymore. We're focusing more on frontier technologies, AI, robotics, med and health tech for good, basically. We've got the designs ready to go. We just don't have the capacity to sense check and QA and put it into development. We just don't have the manpower, the brain capacity right now. So that's bottlenecked. Nothing will move time faster than running a design agency. You stop seeing things in terms of days and weeks. You see things in quarters now, right? And financial year ends. And it really, I know it's cliche, but it really does feel like you blink and the time's gone. Again, it just makes me acutely aware of, being precious with your time and focus and being intentional with where you put it. Sorry, my phone is completely popping off. That's probably the agency on fire somewhere along the line. I'm very blessed that I can do this from my home office. I'm in Birmingham 2 days a week. So I am present. I am here. My girls can see me. We are interacting throughout the day, but I don't just want to be behind a computer screen all day. The girls now, they're a lot more, they're throwing themselves about. We're a big wrestling family as well. So, throwing them in the ball pit, choke slamming, power bombs, I love that sort of rough play, quality time. I just want to make sure that I'm able to give that the time and energy that it deserves. So, mental health things, going out for a walk, having physical exercise, getting outside, things like that. Again, it's so easy to wake up, walk over to my desk, get to work. It's very easy to be trapped in that regard. I don't want to be doing that. So again, just being more intentional with, having guardrails for physical and mental well-being, I think is a key thing that I want to carry with me. And again, just sort of staying true to who I am as well, right? I'm a gamer. I love gaming. I love reading comics. I love watching wrestling. When I started this agency, it's so that I could have more freedom. I didn't want a boss. Ironically, I've now got 6 or 7 at a time. But you get my point, right? I did this so I've got freedom so that I can, live the life I want. And again, just finding time to be able to have that time for me, playing games with my friends, comes back to being more intentional with how I spend my time. And lastly, I think I would like to be more willing to celebrate small wins. We don't often take a step back to really reward ourselves or acknowledge the growth, the progress, the wins that we've made and had. I think I'd like to do that a lot more. It's very easy to be, stuck in that grind with like, okay, great, we've won that project, we've closed that out, that invoice is in, what's next? It's very easy to do that. And I just want to be more intentional about how I run an agency. This is just some of the thinking that I've had as we start the year. But yeah, ultimately, we've got a busy week ahead. Like I said, all these new projects are kicking off. I need to go and see what all these notifications are that's popping off. So yeah, busy week, but man, how exciting.